Hey everybody, it's Molly. Welcome in. So, I was doing an experiment of something that I found on YouTube a while back, and I've been meaning to try it. So, I have these Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Flakes, which is just foil that's, in flake format. These are sold on Amazon. And this one is mulled wine. Now, I have a scrap piece of paper down because, yeah, it's going to be a little messy. Not as messy as I expected, though. But I got this beautiful background, and then I stenciled with black over it. This was my first one, and it was a little messy, but it kind of looks really cool. And then this is the other one. And I resin them. Because before you resin them, they look like this. And after you resin, there's a huge difference. Camera's not picking it up so well. This is sealed. So I want to go through the process with you. And then I took the leftovers and cut them up and made little like mosaics. This is going to be a mosaic within a mosaic because I was thinking about doing a picture frame or a mirror. It's a frame. It's an 8x10 frame. It's a I think it's bigger than that. Maybe 11x14. And then the inset is 5x7. So I ordered these mirrors and they came and they're like these cheapy locker mirrors that we used to have. One side makes your face look skinny, the other side makes your face look fat. So take your pick. That was a waste. I need to find better quality. Or whoever purchases it can flip out if they want to put a picture in it or if they want it as a mirror. So that's all to be TBD on that. So yeah, so these just turned out really neat. And these are not resined. But I did use Liquitex sealer on the gold foil on these two. And then this one I used the gloss varnish. Or gloss. Oh, what is this called again? I gotta start remembering this. This bottle's too big. Quick Shine Floor Polish. And they both came out okay. I put too much on this one. It looks like it's wet, and it's not. So it depends on your taste. But the good thing is that I knew the Liquitex would be okay on the foil, but I wasn't sure about the Quick Shine, and it worked out perfectly fine. So, there's that. So, I was thinking, you can't see all this, but I was thinking about doing a frame and adding a little bit of blue to this. Can't really see the whole thing. So that's kind of a glimpse at what the frame looks like. So let's go through the process. And I didn't use cutters for this. I cooked the whole thing, or baked the whole thing, like I'm making dinner, before. Okay, so this is the messy part, but, so I have these flakes, okay, and you can use tweezers, but some of them are stuck together like layers. Like, here's one. So if I put this down, I can still pick up the layer on top of it. it kind of bugs me because this is what takes so long with this process. I still have layers here. I don't know a better way. I was thinking, can I put them in a Ziploc bag before I do this and shake it really hard? But they're really stuck to each other. So what I ended up doing was taking a whole bunch because I'm impatient and I did not want to sit here for hours upon hours with this one little step. I just start pushing it down and rolling it. See, it's not as messy as you would think it is. You got to be really careful when you're taking the lid off. Whoa. Whoa, baby. All right, so here we go again. Oh. Look how pretty this is, though. It's multiple colors. And you don't have to get this brand. I just did because the person on the video I watched was using this brand. And I feel terrible because I don't remember where I was and I couldn't find it again last night. So I'm so sorry, whoever you are. They say the best compliment is when someone wants to use your idea. Some people get mad about that. Don't go on YouTube and share it with the world if you don't want people to pick up. You're supposed to be there to share your information so people can learn, and if you've inspired them, then look at these. They're humongous. If you've inspired them and they want to copycat, and what we do, nothing comes out the same anyway. Everything's one of a kind. So, I don't know. I might try a different brand, but I like how this isn't so messy. Oh, don't cough or sneeze. Shoot. Don't breathe heavy. You'll be sorry. Alright. I don't need this whole thing. Oh. Because I'm going to trim the edges. Okay, so I want to make sure everything is down. Which it's not. It is not. It is not. It is not. Come on. Come on. Boring my peeps. Alright. So. I don't remember how much this was, or I would tell you. But again, it's Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Flakes, and it's mulled wine. I also have Summer Meadow that I used on one of my first ones. And it's got, like, more green in it. But when they got done, I couldn't tell the difference between the two. So if that helps you, if you're trying to decide what colors to get, they both looked the same to me, and they're the only two I have. I mean, I can't afford to buy all the different ones, and I'm just trying this out, so should have probably just bought one, but I don't know what happens when you get in there shopping. It's like, I need it all. I must have it. I can't live without it. Oh my gosh. Amazon. Whew, so bad. So bad. Joann is having sales right now. Coming out of their bankruptcy scare. Free shipping, 50% off a regular, 20% off your whole order. And very prices that are not outrageous. Like Joann can usually be a lot more expensive than Hobby Lobby or Michael's. But okay, so I think that's as good as we're gonna get. So I have this flattened down. Can you see it? Can you tell? And then I need to bake this. So let me move all this garbage out of the way I have here. I am gonna take it off of the wax paper. Now, I am not baking it for an hour. I am baking it for 30 minutes at 275. I need it to be flexible when it comes out because we need to cut it. Okay, so this is a little backwards than how we usually work. But it's a cool process, and it's kind of quick. So let me go bake these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so while that bakes, do you guys care? I'm going to move on to a different step until that's done, and then we'll get back to that one. I have this green, it's Cernet Metallic Turquoise Gold rolled out. It is so hard to tell, but maybe it's the angle I'm at. I can't see on my computer that it's showing up, but there is green in here. That's so weird. Maybe when I play it back, you can see it. We'll see. Trust me, it's in there. But I want to tie into the gold too, because I really like how this is coming together. So I want to do some gold leaf and some painting. So I had this smushed in my drawer and I wrinkled it. So, wah, wah. You want to use premium ready gold leaf if you're doing gold. It is so easy to work with and it doesn't flake apart. This is a Craft Smart brand. It is sold on Amazon and it is sold at Michael's. You'll have to figure out which is cheaper because if you have Prime, you don't have to pay shipping, but it costs more on Amazon. And if you go to Michael's, you might not have free shipping. And why am I doing that? And then, I don't know. Just figure out whatever's cheaper for you. I go through Michael's. Because I order 2 at a time. And they last me quite a while. There's 18 sheets in here. So, oh, come on, baby. I have to figure out which way to go here. Okay. So I have just caused an issue. But I think I know what I'm going to do. So look, it doesn't, well, I just ripped this taking it out. That's the first time I've ever done something, well, that's something stupid, that's for sure. Okay. It would not be the Molly show if I didn't screw something up. So you just press it down, and then I'm paying attention out here where my extra is. I've never had to do this. I need to burnish it. Do you guys have one of these? It's the soap thing they sell for when you get garlic on your hands. It's the best burnisher ever. I don't know why I'm having a problem. I just opened a brand new thing here. There we go. Okay, so let's fix the boo-boos. It does not want to come off of here. No way. Jose. You know, this is the sheet that was on top and didn't have paper on top of it. But I'm okay with this. Maybe I can get this one over here. Please don't twist. Okay. I'm okay with these empty places because you'll see why. I've never had it go down like that. It goes down in one fell swoop for me. And those of you that watch my videos know that. But again, it would not be a Molly video without a screw up somewhere. Oh well. So, I'm not 100% prepared. I'm thinking out loud as we go. I need to find something to stamp into here. I'm looking. I think I know. I think I'm going to use this one. Okay, so let's, oh, this is why I wish I could do a live with you guys, because then you guys could tell me what you think. But I don't think anybody would be on here with me, considering it's 4:30 a.m. Okay. What's stuck on here is not from this. It is from another project I did. So this comes off clean. Now, I will not promise that if you're using a rubber texture sheet. The plastic ones are best on the gold foil. Now, let's pick it up and make sure it's flat. All right. I'm just getting some of these little scraps off. So I didn't think about what paint. I think I'm going to need a little bit of black. We're going to use the treasure gold. Now I need a red color. Hold on. I'm coming. Oh my gosh. You can't even frickin' walk in here. I've been trying to clean it up, and I just placed an order for stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh. I shouldn't have let myself do that until... Alright, I think we're going to use... Golden is awesome. We're going to use this nickel, azo, and copper for sure. And then I'm going to bring in some of this. And we're going to see how it goes. Let me get a brush. Okay. We're going to do some finger painting. You're going to need wipes or a wet paper towel before you start this, okay? I always start with this color. It can be a little overbearing, so you want to just kind of spot it on. We're going to wipe this off, so I'm not going to get rid of my gold altogether, okay? Then I'm going to take my copper in. This will tie in nicely with the bronzy red color I have. This is the color that the tiles are. Okay. I'm going to hold it for a second before I put the green on the top. Just wiping off a couple areas. Oh, maybe I can just use the lid here. Yeah. That looks awesome. Just lost some of my copper. Oh, these are beautiful. I love this technique. I just want to make sure I didn't lose all of my original gold. Now, I was going to show you something else, but the baby wipe seems to be doing it. I'm getting back to my original color here because I'm peeling up some of the gold leaf. I don't know if I like that as much. It'll look perfect. It'll be just fine. Alright, now I like the muddy look. If you guys don't, I mean, don't do it, right? Choose whatever colors you think you really want to use. Okay, I probably should have left that alone. Because I was going to actually sand this after it was dry. Should we still do it just so you guys can see? Or will I ruin it? Could always do more. Let me go put these other colors back. I have limited space. Okay, I'm going to dry this. If you're wondering, if you haven't seen this process before and you're wondering, she painted it before she put it in the oven, not after. I do this all the time. It works out perfectly fine. There's no issues with that whatsoever. May have to work around this part or just cut very ends of it. This side looks great. Maybe I'll show you how it looks sanded over here. I have a whole nother color to use too. It's very similar. I have this one. It just has a little bit more blue in it. So we could do this again. Oh, now I need sandpaper. I need to cut a new sheet. I just use... Oh, sorry. I just use the 3M general purpose, and it doesn't matter what grit. I guess I was working off the 100. This is the 150. And then I don't use regular scissors. I use my tonic scissors. That's just me. I do not know if this would ruin... And I cut a piece like that. Your regular scissors or not. It does not ruin tonic scissors. So... This is actually helping. Can you see this? I'll have to put it up. But yeah, you can sand, and then the gold stays in the bottom and the top colors come off. Why is my dog barking? My husband's gonna get mad. Poor guy tries to sleep. He can't hear me. Unless I get really loud. That's a big no-no in the morning. Okay. I gotta do what I gotta do. I mean, I gotta go to work just like, you know. Gotta pay the Amazon bill. I'm gonna, not be happy with that. It depends. You know, every piece turns out so different. Oh, there we go. It's just so much in one little spot, you know? My little dog thinks she's in charge of the big dogs. She only weighs 5 pounds. She's a toy poodle. Her name is Bindi. And, yeah, she thinks she's the boss, the police around here. So if somebody gets off the couch, she tries to bark at them and tell them they need to go outside. It's hysterical, but when it happens every single day, it's the most annoying frickin' thing on the planet. Trust me. Okay, that is better. It's very, I don't have a word. Just very abstract. This is where I was messing up. Turned a little green, but that's fine. Because green is one of the colors. It's just a little bit of a different green. I don't think I'm going to work on the other one right now. I think I'm going to put this on a tray and then clean up my desk. The other one's probably about done. So I can stick this in the oven and then we can go back to the other part. Usually I wait the whole time before I come back, so I hope I'm not screwing this up, but this is the process I'm working in, right? When something's in the oven, what are you going to do next? How do you work ahead a little bit? You don't have to. Sometimes when things go in the oven, I go and get on the computer, do Facebook stuff. So I'm going to go put this in the oven, and I have new trays coming. I ordered new trays. I'm so excited. These are garbage worthy. I could line them, but I don't know. Here's the other thing. when you have big pieces like this, I didn't do it with the last one, but that's all right. You can put pieces of tile on top. I don't have a bigger one. I just have these coasters. They're like ceramic, but you can just go to Lowe's and get a small piece of tile. If you lay it over, you won't get any bubbles, which when working on a larger piece can happen sometimes, so it doesn't hurt. The paint will bake right in. I have most of it dry except for what I just put on there, so and you don't usually have to dry the paint. I just wanted to see if I could sand it. So I'm going to go pop this in the oven, clean up my desk, and then I'm going to come back with our foiled piece and we'll stencil it and varnish it, stencil it, cut it up. Okay? Be right back. Okay, so here we are at the next step. This is out of the oven. It looks very pretty. So, guys, the person I watched didn't do this step, but I am, because we need to varnish it before we stamp on it. I thought I got all this off. You want to go back and forth and try and get any loose pieces off, because here's the other thing. Don't dip your brush right into, let me dump this, into your varnish. You need to put your varnish in, even just put it on a little piece of paper. I have a Dixie cup that I just put a little tiny bit in, but yeah, you don't want, this is when those layers come up, is after it's cooked or baked. So I'm going to use Liquitex basic acrylic gloss varnish. I also have satin, but I want to stick with the gloss because that's what I've been using on the other pieces. And the only reason I'm choosing that varnish is a personal preference. I had the same results with using the high gloss varnish, floor varnish. But I just am, because it's gold leaf and there's just something weird about gold leaf that I prefer to use this. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush this on. These colors are coming to life. Yes, I can still resin. It's not happening this time, but last time I had a lot of the gold. Oh, see, there's the gold flakes. That's why you don't want to work right out of your bottle of varnish, which I tend to do a lot, but not with working with flaky leaf. This looks beautiful. There we go. Now something's coming off. But you just got to do this step before you, in my opinion, before you go ahead and stencil on it. Okay. I got to pour this back in here because there's still a bit left. Never quite know how much you need. It doesn't seem like you have like a lot, and then you have a whole bunch of leftover. But I don't want to waste any of that. It's a little bit more of a pricey varnish. I can't remember what I paid. I think, because I just ordered another one because I'm half full, so I want to make sure I don't run out of it. And it was like $13.98 or something. I don't know, but it's 8.45 ounces. But, I mean, it lasts so long. So let's dry this. Whoops, hold on. Man, when I go to clean up my desk, it's actually not that bad. It's just silly mistakes when I miss something. But these got glued into the varnish, so they're not going anywhere. It just looks so pretty. I'm really glad I ran across this. Just wish I could remember who I learned it from. I watch so much stuff to get inspired, and then I kind of make it my own. Like, I like to do it my own way. So I didn't 100% rip her off. I just got some ideas from her. If I find it, I'll put it in the comments in my links. I'll also put this foil flake in there. And you know what else they have, which I haven't used yet? They have these flake and glitter glue. And with a little, it's nice, it has a little top for once you cut this off. I almost tried it on here, because I wonder if that's what that lady did, so that she didn't have to seal it before she stamped it. I don't know what happens, or not stamp it, but stencil it. And what happened to me when the first time I tried it, I ruined the whole thing. Because I was following her method, and I put my stencil down, and then all of the glitter was coming up out of the stencil onto my brush. I mean, it was the biggest mess. So, take it from me. You want a sealer on it. Okay, this is pretty much dry. So this is the stencil I have. And man, this is fitting pretty darn perfect here. Okay, and then I'm going to use my DecoArt Americana Lamp Black. This is my favorite black paint. I just got all over myself. Alright. My bottle's almost empty, but I have another one standing by. Okay. I need a wipe. Now, I would suggest using the foam daubers. I don't have any, so I'm using one of these little finger ones. I don't like using brushes on here because it will tend to bleed, for me anyway. So this may take us until next week because this is so tiny. But my dog's whining, sorry. He wants to go outside because the little ones just went out and he feels he needs to do cleanup duty, which is disgusting, sorry, but it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts how disgusting dogs can be, and we just love them. We just love them no matter what. I shouldn't have said that, sorry. Okay, so, what else is going on? So I've got about another hour before I need to get ready for work. I work from home, so I just go right up to my office, which is kind of nice. It gets pretty lonely. So I've really enjoyed doing this. I think it's been 6 weeks now. And man, I was pushing the content to just so that my page would have content on it. So I've been a busy girl. And then I get a new idea, and it's like, I gotta tell everybody about this. I gotta do a project with it. So, I'm going to be participating in a live sale. I'm going to put a link under the comments for Royal Funky Junk. So there's a story here, and if any of you follow Kathy on that page, you'll know who I'm talking about. When I grew up, Kathy was a year younger than me. Her parents her family lived down the street. from us. And we would ride the bus to school and back. And then 25 years later, or I don't know how many years later, 10, 15 years later, John and I moved. We were in our starter home with I had 3 boys, and we bought a house on the same street as my parents. And I had lost touch with Kathy for, we're all having kids and getting married and all that and living life. And would you believe I see her walk out to the mailbox right across the street from me? So Kathy lived across the street from me until she got divorced. Her ex-husband is still there. And then anyway, I don't want to get into that. But I was really sad when she left. But she started remaking things from Goodwill or thrift stores or vintage shops. And sometimes new. And so her parents still live across the street next door to where she was. And so we've become friends. Anyway, Royal Funky Junk, you have to follow that. But I'm going to be she's taking some of my items for her next sale, her next live sale. And then once I have enough people, I'm going to start doing my own. So that'll be something fun to watch. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. It'll probably be on my Facebook, though. All right, ready for the reveal? It came out good. There's a little blob there. Let me move this. Okay. Some of it's already dry. Let me get rid of this. But I'm going to go over it just a little bit. And then we're going to cut it with tile cutters. Which you do not need to have. You can use scissors. I would recommend investing in a pair of tonic scissors. Okay? These are tonic, Tim Holtz tonic. They're just meant, they have little blades in them. They're just meant, you can cut paper and everything with them. Don't get me wrong. They're just different, and they work great on clay. Already dry. Can't tell by looking at my hands, can you? What a mess. Oh, man. Okay. So, this is heated up again, so it's a little flexible, which is nice. Let me grab those. This is the first project I've really used these on. I've used them once before. But these are multi-cut 4-inch cutter. It has extra blades here in the end. And has a little measuring strip, which I don't understand how to use at all. Because when you're cutting, I cut this way, not this way. Maybe I need to take a lesson on how to use cutters. So the first thing I'm going to do, that side's all right. I'm just going to go through here. Look how easy that was. And I'm going to even it up. Or at least make the edges square. By far it won't be even when I'm done. But these work like a champ. I really might start using them a bit more. Okay. I do have to square off this side. Alright, now, these are scraps I'm not keeping. Well, I'll set them aside, but I don't think we're going to use them. So there's a couple things I want to do here. I want to make some strips. Which is what I did here. And see, when it's resined, you can see the colors better than when it's flat. That's why I chose to resin. But I don't resin the little chips. I have a hard time getting everything even, Steven, with these. So then I'm going to grab my tonic scissors, and where I feel I need to trim off some to even it up, I'm gonna. And you know what, guys? It's never going to be perfect. You gotta tell yourself that. Now hold on to these pieces, because these are what we're going to use. We'll get there in a minute. Okay. Before I do the rest of the strips, I'm going to cut this in half. No. I'm going to cut it about right here. Sorry, dog was getting into something. Fluffing her pillow. Good Lord. Can't make it up, folks. The dog fluffs her pillow. Alright. Because I'm trying to make bigger tiles for this piece, as you've probably noticed, which is kind of fun. That one's good. This one I need to use my scissors on. Made it worse. Here we go again. By the time I get it even, I have none left. That's good. This one still doesn't look right to me. Sure, I'm making a mess over here. Let's pick up this paper and throw it in the garbage. I don't have a lot of strength in my hands. This really isn't a two-hander thing, or maybe it's a force of habit. But I'm sure you all might have more strength, or just because of health issues that I had, I'm still a little weak from having a lot of surgeries after I had cancer. I just had a visit yesterday. 3.5 years, cancer-free. Don't have to go back until November to see my oncologist, so I was a very happy girl yesterday. I wonder if I should do some halfsies. Ooh, they cut even, guys. You know, it's evening this stuff up. Okay, so then what we're going to do... I don't know that I need this big tile. I don't think I do. So I'm going to keep these smaller ones. This one's got the end hanging off. Small-ish or more ones. Do you think if I cut this in half, it'll be even? Not really, but enough I can work with. I always don't understand how one side looks worse than the other. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one, and let me find some little pieces here. Billy, stop. You're not going out there. I'm doing something. Go. Bye-bye. Okay. I think we're done with, no, we're not done with these. Was I going to use this one as a strip? I should. Okay, this will be more than enough. So I just have this little, it's just shy of 3 and just shy of 2 by 3. So you want to take and make triangles out of this, or angled shapes. And it goes so fast, you guys. It just goes so fast. Make some smaller ones. Just angled shapes. One way, twist it, twist it. Okay, so then okay. So then I'm going to set these aside for a hot minute because I want a resin. And while it's in the UV curing in the UV thing, my other ones are done. I want to, I want a resin and then roll out some more gold. I need 2 more gold tiles to do, all right, resin. I don't always do this. I used to do jewelry, so I did it all the time. If you've seen my other videos, I have some stuck on here. I really need to put new, let's go this way, foil on here. So I wrapped a little board with foil because I didn't want to ruin the bottom of my UV light. Alright, so these are getting resin, the other ones are not. And it looks perfectly perfect to me. Perfectly imperfect? That's what Kathy would say. Alright. Alright, let me clean this up and then I'm going to get my resin out, which I have to get another bottle to show you what it is because this one got all sticky. Okay. It is Decor Ram UV hard resin. There's a hard and a soft resin. You want the hard resin. Now it's odor free. These used to stink like you wouldn't believe. There is 0 odor with this, even when it's curing. Odor. Can't talk English. Okay. And it doesn't yellow. And I've had stuff hanging on my wall for years, and it is true. This is the one I use. There is a million out there. You can pick whatever, and it is not expensive. When I used to do this 5, 6, 7 years ago, I went through a lot of different resins until I found this one. Again, it's personal preference. Here's the other thing. I used to use a toothpick, but now I'm using a brush because you know what? If you wrap it up in foil, I mean, resin doesn't get hard unless you put it under the lamp. And it's so much easier to brush it on. And like right before your eyes, you can already see it's like this magic glass. You're not supposed to go over the sides like I do. Unintentionally. But you want to get right up to the edge. Okay. I also have less bubbles when I do it this way rather than with the toothpick. I put my resin on kind of thick, guys. I just do. So I'm gonna do this. I'll fast forward. And when we come back, we'll start on, what's the next step, Molly? Oh, we got to do the gold tiled ones. And then we're going to pull out the one that we painted. It's already, the oven went off, and I did a second one with that other bluish color that I used cookie cutters on. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward now. Okay, these are done resining. They look really good. I'm really happy with them, but look what I did. I had two up against each other. So let me get the good ones out of the way. This one has a bubble in it. You know what I do? I'll put a rhinestone on it. But it has hair and a bubble in it. Okay, hair's gone. I take a nail file. This is a 180 grit. I gotta do it over the garbage can. And I just make it flat. It's a little clouded, but it's fine. There's another one. You know what I forgot to do before I put it in? I take my heat gun over it. Some people use a lighter or one of those creme brulee things. I don't like fire down here because, I mean, things happen. These may be ruined, but I may not need them. But that sucks. No. This one's totally fine. And this one I just need to file. Oh, here it is. This one I just need to file the extra resin off. Good as new. Alright, I'm going to set that bad little strip aside. And if we need it in desperate measures, we'll use it. Okay, so, by the way, I cured those for 10 minutes. They say 2 to 5 minutes, but because of the amount of resin I use, I always like to put them in a little bit longer. And it doesn't hurt them. And if they start to curl, when you glue them down, they'll be fine. Okay, so then I also have this out of the oven. And it came out fine. I'm not crazy about this muddy piece. So this section here will just be used for if I need a backup plan. So this will need to be cut up. And then I did another one that turned out really beautiful. Where I used cutters and then sliced some to have some smaller ones. So this is going to look really kind of cool with each other, I think. I think I made too much, which is perfect because I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I'm going to once again take my Basics acrylic. I don't need to put this in a... Makes you wonder why I threw away everything, huh? Getting the brush out of the garbage because it was just sitting on a piece of wax paper. Alright. I would recommend the foam brushes as well. My problem with those is that it sucks up half of your varnish or Mod Podge or whatever you're using so much before you get any down. And then when you're done, it's all stuck in the foam part of it. So I just personally would prefer to use a brush. And I could be using a bigger brush right now, but I already had this one, so... And then I just like to go across and then up and down to make sure I didn't miss anywhere. Okay. So I always do these on my pans, which is why my pans probably get crappy right away. Not right away, but I like it because they're stuck to they always stick, even if it's a brand new pan. All right, almost there. And then what I want to do is I need 2 more of these gold pieces. And we'll do the mosaic where we cut the triangles out of. Oops. I have to start counting, like when I watch my videos back, how many times I say oops. I know I say too much. That bugs me. That really bugs me. I can't help it. It's such a bad habit to have, though, too, vocabulary-wise. I'm 51 years old, and I'm still saying, At least I'm not like this and totally that. Or whatever the kids are saying now. All right, that is done. Again, this was the liquid basic acrylics gloss varnish. They have a satin and a matte as well, so whatever your preference is, go for it. All right, I'm going to set this aside to dry as well. And now I have a piece of gold, just regular Primo gold. And then I have the square cutter that matches the other ones. Now I only need 2, but I may cut out a different shape if I have room left over. And I'm going to tell you right now, this cutter sucks. So I'm going to have to probably trim the sides. But I like the size of it. I'll get 3 and cut this one in half. And then should I do this one? Just 'cause. I'll see if I have enough. And then maybe this one. Those always cut nice, those red ones. But don't ask me where I got those, please. I have no idea. I really don't. I'm sorry. I try to share everything with you. But again, some of this stuff's like 10 years old, so I don't know. All right. Pick them up. Because I want to work on one at a time. Look, they have clean corners because I bad-mouthed it. This one needs a little cleanup. On this side. Okay, much better. Now, what you need is liquid Sculpey, translucent. Make sure it's translucent. All right, let me grab my Sculpey brush. You guys, these are the cheap disposable, not disposable, I use them a few times. But you can also keep this one in foil. I didn't know where I put it, so I actually just grabbed another one. They're cheap, they're like $100 for $10. Which, when I'm doing something like this, is nice. And you know me with my brushes, man, I hate that. So the reason we're putting the liquid Sculpey down, whoa baby, is because we need our already baked tiles that we cut up to do the mosaic to stick, right? Well, I guess I can just do everybody at once. Okay, so then I don't think I'm going to have enough scraps, but we'll see how far we can get. It'll just give us like the luxury of when we're laying out the frame. And that's going to be the next step, guys, because everything's done. Did I get this one enough? Yeah. No. I need to bake these. And it's totally fine to seal them and bake them again. So I just try to find a corner and then find something that kind of goes with it, but not so close that it's obvious. And I've been doing, I don't like that. I've been doing one side. Sometimes you got to cut as you go along, folks. It's just how it is. I've been doing one side and then just a little bit on the opposite end. Oh, I didn't make any really tiny ones. So like that would be it for me. This one right here. Oh. Okay. And again, this is transparent, so this will dry clear. I gotta get another pan. Sometimes you gotta help yourself by lifting it up from the bottom, and you just gotta be so careful. Sometimes they fall off. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do these on the pan because I ran into this last time and I forgot about it. I don't like putting the deli sheets or the wax paper in because they do something, they collect moisture and just do something weird. To be honest, I just don't like it. Come on, buddy. Sorry, I'm trying to get a more in shot. See, aren't you so happy I'm getting new pans? You don't have to look at this anymore. One, two, three, and then I need a little one for the other corner. But they're all so different, but they all go together. I just love this. I just love this. Okay. It's a lot of biggins. It's a lot of biggins on this one. Do I want? I have this. Sure, why not, right? Okay, we have enough. I only have these two small ones left. Smaller ones. These are the big tiles when we do most of the mosaics. Oh, you know what might work here? That little guy. Perfect. Oh. Ha, done. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 little pieces left. That's it. Perfect. Will I save those? Probably. Will I ever use them again? Probably not. All right, this is ready to go in the oven. Let's see if these are done. Just about. Just about. Doesn't take long. Actually, I need to do this one first. Don't think I'm going to resin these ones. I think I like the texture difference. Okay. This one takes a little bit longer than your floor gloss. But not much. It's done. And it was only sitting for a hot minute. Okay, so I'm going to go away and cut these up. I'm going to put the gold in the oven, and then we'll be back to finish our frame. Woohoo! We are at the finish line. We have all of our tiles done. So I'm going to bring out my frame. But I need to kind of get these stacked away a little bit in order. So we can do that. I don't know what the fun part is, because I have fun doing everything. Look how different these turned out. The one that I kept trying to sandpaper is very, very matted, even with the gloss varnish. And this one's really, really shiny. But I love that they're different. So I'm just going to have to see what it looks like on there and then decide. So I have a question for you guys. And if you can leave your answer in the comments for me or message me on Facebook. So, and if you don't have my Facebook link, I linked it at the top. And I have extra stuff on there sometimes. I'm trying to do it more. So, do you like seeing the finished product and then coming in to watch the whole thing? Or do you like to have a surprise at the end of the video? I don't know. I like kind of how it's going, but I'm not you. I'm not the viewer. And it's so weird to me when I'm working on something knowing you're going to see the finished product before I even get it started. So it's just kind of bizarre. It's just bizarre. But I don't know. I'm still learning. You know what I mean? So I just was curious, because what you guys want is what's most important to me. So yeah, so I'm going to lay these things on here and just see how it goes. I'm getting all the big ones down first. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to have to make some more. This one looks like it would fit here. Kind of looks like tiger print a little bit, doesn't it? It's kind of weird. These are my biggest ones. I still don't know what I'm going to do on the inside. I have no idea. Okay, so this is where I'm going to need smaller ones, and I'm not going to oh, I already have one right there. So, we will figure it out. Okay, I just need a little one right there. That might work. I'm trying to be all the way in the camera, guys, as best I can. This one could go there. Ooh, that fits perfectly right there. But then I need a divider. Maybe that one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Two, three, 4, 1, 2. Maybe that's okay. It doesn't look bad. So this one would need to be cut. And, you know, we have room to grout some things. Oh, maybe I want this long one here. That fits. That fits. Oh my gosh. Can you believe how quickly this is coming together? I never would have imagined. I'm just totally jinxing myself, guys, just for you. Oh, this is so cool. I haven't done anything like this in a long, long time. That does not work, does it? That kind of does. Oh my gosh, I have so many more. I can't cut the ones. Well, can I? I'm going to try and not cut the ones that I did the resin on. God, this is so different than what I had thought it was going to look like. Let me cut this one. It's bugging me that it's overlapping like that. And then, nope. Decisions. I gotta try. Put some grout in there. Put some grout here, here. So I just have these two areas. 1, 2. Yeah, once they get glued down, this will make a lot more sense. Okay. Just cut it too short. Okay. So I have this one stinking spot. Ugh. I don't know. Because, oh, this one might work. If I don't trim it too short. Just a little bit more. I'm extremely happy with this. Wow, I do have a lot of leftover tiles. I'm putting them in my bin. I have like teeny tiny fillers, but I think I'm going to use my rhinestones again. I don't think I want ball chain on here. Do I? I have to look for gold ball chain. Because I'm a gold girl. Alright, what do you say? Let's glue her down. Oh. I have this spot. Gosh darn it. How about that? How about that? That one just fit. So we got the mosaics inside of the mosaic. Looking good, girls. Looking good. And guys. Alright, let me get my weld bond. I'm going to need... So I like to work this way, where I'm taking things off. But this guy, I might need to make an exception here based on where everything is falling. How about I open it? That would help, wouldn't it? Okay. Weld bond. Best adhesive when you're attaching tiles, in my opinion. Okay, let's go. My brush is sucking up more than anything else. So this weld bond dries clear. Sorry, I talk so fast that my tongue ties. It's probably way more than what you need, per usual, but it will not dry out by the next time I need it. Okay, so let's just start where we were. And this gives you wiggle room to move some stuff around. And then I'm going to have to figure out where our spacing was. You know, like what I mean. So there's one. This goes up here. And I have this. Wait. Yeah. And then this one. I'm gonna leave a little bit of leg. Oh, should I? All right. Sorry, I'm not talking, but I'm thinking. Okay, so then I like to rotate it this way. And then I'll have these. Uh-oh. That should be enough. It should be more than enough. But yeah, like I said, you have time to move your tiles around when you put this down. After about 5 or 10 minutes, good luck. They say wait 24 hours for it to completely dry. Okay. But I've tried to move stuff after 10 minutes and it's like, good luck next time, lady. Okay. Here we go. Look how easy these go on. I love working with the big tiles. I don't usually have this luxury. I mean, I'm not rushing. I'm just doing that in time. Gotta watch when glue gets on your fingers. Like I just kind of screwed it up there a little bit. Okay. We're getting there. Oh, these are already glued. Yeah, that's what's nice when you go around the corners. It's like, oh, it's already done. Do this one too. All right. I'm going to have to order more of this. I can't stand it. Every time I'm like, oh, I'm good. I don't need anything from Amazon for 5 years. Something runs out or I see something new. Am I the only one with the Amazon problem? I'm guessing I'm probably not. I just have to control myself. Which, you know what? In all honesty, I do pretty good. But when I have a payday and I know I have some extra money after I paid all the bills, I'm like, woohoo, this is exactly where it's going. And my husband's like, I need to go to Lowe's and pick up like 35 of this stuff and it shouldn't cost more than $200. And I have the nerve to sit there and be like, oh, wow, that's a lot. Good grief. I love my husband. He's the best man in the whole world. To me. Okay. We just celebrated our 26th wedding anniversary. I got married on my 25th birthday. So last year I had my 50th birthday and our 25th wedding anniversary. And you want to know how exciting we are? What we did? Nothing. Just the way we like it. I think we went to the local bar and got bar food and had a couple beers. I don't drink beer anymore, but that was a fun time. Look how fast this just like plugged all in. All right, now I gotta go around. Sorry. Moe, I'm working on something. It's not your turn to talk. I just took him out. Maybe he's trying to tell me something. He's trying to say how much he loves my work and how much he loves you guys. He's the sweetest little dog. little blind man. Okay, so I'm leaving everything where it is. How do I... Oh gosh, did I just make you dizzy? I made myself dizzy by looking at the camera doing that. So we just have to fill in some grout. So, okay, let me put this over here. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I love it. All right, I'm going to grab... Sorry, I'm just thinking, guys. Let me grab my rhinestones. All right, I'm going to do the B7000 again. B7000, there's a lot of them. Make sure you choose the one with gold. It's the best adherent, and it comes with this precise tip. All right. Oh, hold on. Holy moly. Slow it down, girl. I'm on my lunch break, you guys. I just wanted to finish this. So if I'm rushing, I'm not trying to rush. I'm just excited to get this done, to be honest with you. I have plenty of time. Okay, so you need to... Where the heck? Oh, goodness. Stretch. Here they are. Just need my clippers. You can use little scissors on these too. They're very thin. Alright. Now for the B7000. Now be careful when you do these longer strips. See? When you do the longer strips, they tend to turn on you. So you just gotta be really careful. Okay. And then you squeeze them together. Come on, Bubba. All right, this one, gotta make a little bit of room here. Okay. This trim is on Amazon. It's 4mm. I also have 2mm. You guys that watch me know this is my go-to because I love the bling. And what I'm thinking about this piece is that the bling's gonna set it off, like, to even add more abstract to it, but still applying to the color scheme that we have. Perfection. Squeeze those together. Now, I'm going to go look for gold ball chain because I would have used gold ball chain in this piece easily. And quite frankly, I think it would have looked better than the rhinestones, but I don't hate the rhinestones. I just don't have what I need. And I'm not going to set this aside because when I set things aside, I just don't ever get back to them. And that's foolish and lazy, and, you know, it's just when you're inspired, you got to kind of work in the moment. And I've been inspired about this all day. I was working this morning. I was thinking about it all day. Crazy. I'm a crazy girl. All right. So I'm going to cut this one. Got to start thinking about what I'm going to work on next. I have a couple ideas. But I don't really have a plan. But I don't always have a plan, so what else is new? Just get an idea and turn the camera on and say, want to come along? Come along for the ride. All right. Sorry, I needed a drink. I talked too much. I'm sorry about Mojo. He just, poor little guy. He's in his pen. He wants to be outside all the time, but he's blind and I can't watch him. All right, so guess what, guys? I think all I need is some itty bitty teeny weeny I'm going to use a new color. It's copper. Copper stickles. So in any of my small spaces, this is what I'm going to go in with. I love it. It's so easy to use. Guys, I always have shaky hands, and it still works for me. Oops. It's okay. Just wipe it off. I don't know if you were freaking out or if I was. I was like, oh no. This also would look great if I covered some of these with it, but I don't want it that sparkly. It just isn't the project for that. Okay, I think I got everywhere. I mean, this is really nitpicking. Very narrow line right there. No. Okay. That's it, guys. What do you think? Alright. I'll take a picture of this and post it, but I really meant what I said. If you guys don't like that I'm posting the finished before the video, let me know. I just think it helps you to know like what exactly we're doing. And then I'm gonna have to figure out glass frame, mirror, or sell it to somebody without anything and say, hey, I'm not willing to risk it cracking to get good quality. Because they have shatterproof stuff, but we all know it breaks. And even if you put fragile on your shipping package, well, yeah. We all know what happens with that, so it's not that fragile anymore once it gets into the hands of the delivery service, unfortunately. I've never had anything break on it. Well, no, never mind. And this is wood. My farmhouse desk. That's what's under here. From Goodwill or thrift shop. Okay. I'm going to go take a picture of this. We're all done with this one. So stay tuned, and I will be back with another project soon. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great one.